doing the opening, you're doing the color. I don't know what we're doing, but hey, going to be a good ball game.
Well, there's no question. Yeah, babe, I'm playing hurt tonight, but we're going to do the best we can. We may call on a reliever in Ken Sawyer. We'll wait and see what happens here. But yeah, this should be a great ball game. Hughesville's coming in 17-1. They play great basketball. Won the district title 2 years ago. Nick's got them playing great ball again, although he feels they're not playing exactly where they could be. They've got to put 4 great quarters together. They're going to be tested tonight. This is a prep charter team that came to the Magic Dome earlier this year, losing the Millionaires 76-63, but this is a double-A team ranked #1 in the state coming out of Philadelphia.
And it's a double-A team that's used to playing at the statewide level. They've won the state championship last year, and in the past they've won the state championship. Very competitive team. Hughesville, on the other hand, though, Gary Chrisman, is a team that really has never gone deeply into the state playoffs. They've won districts. They did that last year. Nick Tagliaferri has a great program going, but they have never gone to this depth, and I think this is a game that really Hughesville is going to get a great learning experience from it, win or lose, and hopefully they have the ability to make it competitive.
Yeah, there's no question. These are the type of games you need along the road to get you ready for the playoffs. It's coming at a great time for Nick and for the Hughesville Spartans. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. This is the Fairfield game of the week. We'll be back with a AAA pregame. Don't go away. With a AAA pregame. Don't go away. And once again, we're back. AAA pregame show. Gary Chrisman along with Babe Mayer. And, of course, part of the Fairfield game of the week. I'm playing hurt tonight. And, Babe, as we get ready for the fast facts about tonight's game, let's talk about fast facts. Certainly, this is a Hughesville team, 17-1, moving along. But we're going to really see how they rank with the elite in the state of Pennsylvania tonight in Prep Charter.
Well, you know, there's no doubt about it. Prep Charter's the #1 double-A team. Won the state championship last year. They're an experienced team. They're a team that knows how to play in big games, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play here tonight. One fast fact is they've already lost in this gym once this season. They lost to the Williamsport Millionaires earlier this season in this gym. So they've played here before, but it was a losing venture. They have a tall team, and Hughesville, the last game we saw them, went against a tall team out of Southern Columbia and struggled with the tall team. This team has 6'7", 6'6", 6'4" in the starting lineup. Hughesville has one player that can match up with them. Looks like Hughesville is going to have to play a perimeter game to be in this ball game.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Last time they played here, Jesse Morgan did not play. We're talking to Ken Sawyer about the last time Prep Charter came in. They did not have their star player, and that is going to be certainly an interesting situation to see how well he matches up coming into this ball game. Also, Ferguson Myrique came off the bench, scored 23 points to lead Prep Charter the last time they played. All right, let's take a look at the big River Valley Transit big play of the week. Let's take you back 1 week ago. The Showcase, Hughesville, and Prep Charter. What a game at 6 Saturday night at the Magic Dome at Williamsport High. We'll have it for you. And then the Millionaires in White Plains, New York. And now, great play, Smith to Lawrence for 2. Lawrence has got 16, and their largest lead at 22. Jumper the other way. Heap will answer on the other end. Well, you know, you're talking about a big play. That was one of many. The key player the other night for Milton was Kevin Lawrence. Certainly, he was their player of the game, did it inside, and certainly dominated the boards and scored at will at times in a big win over Montoursville. So that was a River Valley Transit big play. We'll see it again coming up in the post-game show. All right, Price Optical Athlete of the Week, second time this year. First of all, Jediah Lynch, Williamsport Millionaires, 27 points in his win the last time out. And certainly, this is a guy that is going to need a good game tonight.
No, well, you know, he's the point guard. He's the guy that works the ball up court for the Millionaires. And, you know, he is going to have to, in this ball game tonight, have a game like he had against Central Dauphin. And a key time to have it. Coming off that loss to Montoursville, he comes up with 27 points in a big win at Central Dauphin.
Okay, Caleb Faust from St. John Newman. 30 points against Muncie last night, 30 against Buckdale the game before that. This guy is, you know, certainly one reason his team's ready for the playoffs. Caleb Faust, the second Price Optical Athlete of the Week already in this young season for us here in January.
Well, Caleb Faust is the team leader over at St. John Newman. I still want to call it Bishop Newman. St. John Newman Regional Academy. He's kind of the heart of the team, puts points up, gets rebounds, distributes the ball around well, and they're playing well, Gary. They have a shot at the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I tell you what, Caleb Faust and Jediah Lynch, this week's Price Optical Athletes of the Week. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more. We'll talk coaches. We'll talk a little strategy tonight. Prep Charter and Hughesville coming up with the game of the week.
Coach out of Prep Charter. No, just kidding. Everybody knows this is Ken Sawyer.
I'm not Dan Brinkley, no.
The Prep Charter is not here yet. We're doing a doubleheader. By doing a doubleheader, we don't necessarily get the coaches on, so we went to the next best thing, maybe the best thing. Ken Sawyer's seen Prep Charter play earlier this season. Kenny, what do they look like?
They're tall, they're fast. One of the things they like to do is play one-on-one basketball. As Gary mentioned, we didn't see one of their key players because of a discipline situation that was here when they were here. But the players we saw love to get up and down the court, and they love to play street basketball. And so Hughesville's challenge, of course, is to take them out of that game, not let them play the kind of game they want to play. And a good disciplined team can do that. We saw Holy Redeemer do that with Williamsport here just Thursday night. We saw Montoursville do it Thursday night before that against Williamsport. So a team that may be outmanned height-wise and speed-wise certainly can get the job done. They've got to play good basketball. But Prep Charter will push it up and down the court. And it'll be interesting for me to see with Dan Brinkley, because when he came in to play Williamsport, they got off the bus and went on the floor. There was no JV game involving Prep Charter that night. It'd be interesting to see if they don't get here a little bit early, because I don't think they had their legs early in the game, and the Millionaires got out in front and maintained the lead on them.
What did the Millionaires do? I mean, the Millionaires won the game pretty handily when it came right down to the end. Did the Millionaires play differently than what they normally play, or did they just play their game?
It was the kind of game the Williamsport players like to play. Up and down, they like to play that up and down game. The Millionaires shot well from three-point against them that night, and the Millionaires were able to get good position inside, and that meant they were able to get the boards. And they were also able to frustrate Prep Charter by getting some turnovers and also making them alter their shots by being in good defensive position.
Now, Prep Charter did not have one of their key players in that game. What will that key player add to the team?
About 20 points.
That's an addition.
That's about 20 points. You know, and Dan Brinkley did not start his normal starting lineup. Nick Laglifleury was here that game. He was scouting that ball game. And he and Alan Taylor and all the people who had followed them in advance of them coming here said, that's not their normal starting lineup. So as Gary mentioned a little while ago, Myrie came off the bench and scored 20-some points, but he normally starts. So it'll be interesting, again, to see what Dan Brinkley has learned, his team playing together since early in the season, and how a little bit different they may be coming in to play Hughesville.
Sum it up, Ken. What's the one key that Hughesville has to do to be in this ball game?
Keep them out of a one-on-one game. They've got to control the tempo of the game, but they definitely have to control the backboards.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after these messages.
Rainbow Carpet, your flooring headquarters for over 20 years in Central PA, has you covered for all the new flooring designs. The Masser family will help you every step of the way with those new creative ideas, from carpeting, ceramic...
This 1989 Williamsport High School graduate is arguably the best wrestler this valley has ever produced. He wrestled in the PIAA state finals 4 out of 4 years. In 1989, he won the 140-pound state championship for a total of 1 gold and 3 silver PIAA state championship medals. He was a 4-time district champ and 3-time regional champ. He won the AAU Greco-Roman national championships and was honored as a high school All-American. He completed a 4-year career at Williamsport with a record of 120 wins and just 6 losses. 3 of those 6 losses came in the state finals. In his senior season, his 31-1 record was marred only by a disqualification loss. In his 1989 state championship run, he pinned 5 out of the 9 opponents he faced, including a first-period fall in the state championship match. He was coached at Williamsport by his father and would go on to wrestle at North Carolina State University for his father's college wrestling teammate, Coach Bob Guzzo. He graduated from North Carolina State in 1994. Who is this week's Rennie Rod Armour All-State Insurance? Is he and where is he now? Well, stay tuned at halftime for the answer, and stay tuned for more of the pregame show coming up right after these messages.
I'm playing hurt. You tell me the keys to the ball game. Let's talk about it right now. Brought to you by Subway.
Well, you know, I think the key to the ball game for the Hughesville Spartans tonight is really simple. It is frustration. All right, you have got to create frustration in your opponent. They have very skilled athletes, as Ken Sawyer talked about when I interviewed him earlier. They run the floor very well. It's going to be a completely different type of team than Useville's accustomed to seeing. So if you can frustrate them with your game, all right, and turn them off, get some shooting from the perimeter, it could be the difference in this ball game. If not, you're not going to be able to run with a team like this, and the Useville Spartans will be in trouble if they try to run.
Yeah, there's no question. I think Nick's going to come out, play some good defense, but also be patient. They certainly have Reason Davis and people that can hit Gurney and people like that. They can hit that perimeter shot. That's going to be a key to this ball game coming up. First game of the showcase, doubleheader coming up. Ken Sawyer is going to be in subbing for me as I'm going to have another throat lozenge. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. We'll be back, and we're hoping to talk to Nick Tagliaferri next. The Fairfield Game of the Week continues.
Sunscreen, helmet, seat.
Nick Tagliaferri, big season so far, big game tonight.
Yeah, we try not to evaluate a season till the end. We're doing well right now, and I feel like we got a long way to go, as I said last week, as far as improving. And I saw some signs here our last two basketball games where we're starting to turn the corner to where we need to be. So, tonight's a big game, another good test for us, so we'll see how it goes.
I talked earlier in the pregame show about this is an opportunity for the Useville players to step deeper into the state playing, where we're going to go against a team out of Prep Charter. Number one team, of course, in Double A. But Useville doesn't get a chance to see teams like this during the season. But you told me they do see teams like this in the summer.
Oh, yeah. We're no stranger to good competition. In fact, we were in several tournaments that some of their kids were in down in the city of Philadelphia, and we've been to other cities, and our guys have been around and they've seen good basketball and things. So I don't look for that to be as much of a problem as it may have been several years ago. And you said about deeper into the state tournament or whatever you were talking about as far as the competition goes. That's somewhere where we want to be. A lot of people talking Double A about Trinity and Prep Charter and York Catholic. We'd like to be mentioned with those people. It's a goal, whether it's realistic or not. We feel it is, and we work really hard, and it's just another opportunity. You're right.
This is an opportunity tonight, like I say, to get in and to play against a big team. You knock this team off, and people are going to know who Useville is, and you're close right now. You're right on the brink. This team just needs a little bit more to get pushed into those state rankings. The toughest thing about state rankings, Nick, is getting in. Once you're in, then people know your name, and it's easier to get in the next time.
Yes, we've been floating around, different state rankings and different local rankings and things for the last couple of years. And what you talked about as far as this being an opportunity to kind of get us to step up a little bit, I feel like this team has another level. And I feel like they show it almost on a nightly basis, but they don't show it for a long time. It's like we hit that level for 5 or 6 or 7 minutes here, or maybe a whole half sometimes. We have another level that we have not put together yet, and we've not shown consistently. Maybe this will help draw it out of us. That's what I'm hoping for, because if we don't bring it, it's going to be a long one.
What's the keys tonight, Coach? What do the Spartans have to do to win this ball game?
There's several. We need to play great defense, really do a nice job on the boards. They're a lot taller than us position by position, but I don't feel that we're a short team. We're going to have to be fundamentally sound on the backboards and take care of those. We're also going to have to take care of the basketball, handle their pressure. And I think a big key for us is finding ways to get shots tonight. We can score, and it'll be a little bit different kind of defense than we're used to. Regardless if they're in zone or man, they'll show both. But we need to be able to find shots tonight. And hopefully, our guard play, Brian Hoover and Brian Gurney and Reason, and along with some guys coming in, will step up tonight and help create offense for us.
Have a good game tonight, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show coming up right after these messages.
Now is the time to book your luxurious AAA cruise to Bermuda. You can choose from a wide variety of departure dates, sailing from New York on Norwegian.
And 1, and the Huskies of Prep Charter 11-4 out of Philadelphia. It's going to be a fantastic matchup tonight here at the Magic Dome. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Useville Spartans of Nick Tagliaferri, brought to you by the new Rival Sports Bar and Grill on River Avenue in Williamsport. The Useville Spartans starting with point guard Brian Hoover. His other guards are Brian Gurney and Resin Davis. Resin Davis has 43 three-point field goals. Josh Crownover's the center, and the forward is Addison Hanford, and those are the starters for the Useville Spartans. They're brought to you by the folks at Rivals. For the Huskies of Prep Charter, they'll be starting with Ferguson Myrick, who is a 6'6 junior. He had 23 points in the game against Williamsport. There you see the Huskies right there huddled against Coach Dan Brinkley. Brinkley in his 4th year as head coach of the Huskies of Prep Charter. Ferguson Myrick, Parrish Grant, Tyree Harris, Shaquille Duncan, who is 6'8", but only a sophomore, and Jesse Morgan will be the starters for the Huskies. They're wearing their blue with the white and gold trim here at the Magic Dome. A great early arriving crowd for this ball game here between the Hughesville Spartans and the Huskies of Prep Charter in this first game of our doubleheader tonight. Williamsport White Plains coming up just a little bit later on. Public address announcer Larry Bassett reading the rules of the engagement, you might say. Letting people know that they're supposed to stay in the stands and things along that line and be nice people. And I tell you, babe, it's impressive to me, the crowd that Hughesville's turned out. It shows you the wrestling school that once used to just dominate wrestling in the days of Pete Wolf and all the other fine coaches they had there at Hughesville High School. Under Nick Tagliaferri has become quite a basketball school.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the nice thing about looking at this crowd here is it's not in Hughesville's gym. We did a game a few weeks ago in Hughesville's gym. Yeah. They packed the house. I mean, they're hanging from the rafters. They're outside waiting to come in, and Nick Tagliaferri sure has turned that into a fine basketball program down there, and the Hughesville fans are really supporting him and his basketball team.
There's Nick
it's
right
a great
there.
sight.
There's a good look at Nick. All right, let's take a look at the starters as they come on the floor here at the Magic Dome. That's Parrish Grant. Parrish is a 6'2" junior. He had 16 points against the Millionaires. That's Jesse Morgan, who's also at 6'4". Jesse did not play in the game against Williamsport. Here's 6'8" sophomore Shaquille Duncan. He only had 2 points against the Millionaires, but can be a presence inside. That's a Ferguson Myrick, a 6'6" junior who had 23 against the Millionaires. And Tyree Harris finishes the starting lineup. He's at 6'7". So as you can tell, one very tall basketball team out of Philadelphia representing the Huskies. Dan Brinkley in his 4th year, of course, has a state championship under his belt. District 12 championships, that's Philadelphia. And he also is 1 game away from winning his 80th game of his short coaching career. Now for the Spartans coming out as we get things underway. Resin Davis, the first one's going to be coming out. Resin Davis, as we showed you in the lineup, it's Addison Hanford. Also coming out, joining Hanford will be Josh Crownover and also Brian Hoover and Brian Gurney, the starters for the Hughesville Spartans, wearing their home white with the green trim. We stand now for the singing of our national anthem. Seen through this season at the Magic Dome, since I spend most of my life here in the wintertime, we've seen some great high school singers who have come through here and sing the national anthem, both male and female. And when there's not someone here live, GQ, my recording, sings it, and it's inspiring here. I was just thinking, babe, as I was looking at the great pictures that Mike Strunk's punching up for us here on the Magic Dome, over 30 years old. Sometimes people still forget how long this gym's been in use now. You know that?
Yeah, it's been. I know because I started working here the first year, full year it was open. That was in 1972, the fall of 1972, and it was actually opened earlier in '72. Remember they came here halfway through the year. So this gym is now an older gym, but still in pretty good shape. Still a great gym to come in and play. People love coming in at floor level and going down onto the basketball court. That's always, we're accustomed to it. It doesn't affect us, but I know people always tell me that when they come in.
Duncan and Crownover go up, and Prep Charter gets the basketball. Let's see what they're going to run. Hughesville's going to play man against them. That's Jesse Morgan. Out to Grant. Grant sets it up. They spread the floor. It'll work off a pick on the right side. Morgan for the tray. Hits it.
Wow. Nothing but net. Good shot from the perimeter. Drops it in. 3-point lead for the
Resin Davis answers. Can't get it. Rebound comes to Grant. Davis, of course, the big 3-point shooter for the Spartans. Nice pass to Harris inside for the deuce. Spartans can't let him run the floor like that.
No. The Spartans have to slow this game down. Get it into a half-court game. Be patient.
Hoover. Ball knocked out of bounds by Morgan. Morgan we were interested in seeing when the Prep Charter was here in December. We didn't get a chance to see him play. And looking forward to seeing him. Prep Charter playing a zone. Playing a 1-3-1 zone. Davis in the corner. Can't hit the three. Hoover dumps it back into Crownover, who's blocked from behind by Ferguson Myrick. This ball club can get up. You've got to use your butt to protect yourself in that rebounding position. Here's a long one from outside. Again, this one won't fall. And Resin Davis gets that rebound.
Good rebound. Rebounding is going to be key here for the Hughesville Spartans tonight.
Hoover looking at the zone defense, figuring out how the Spartans want to attack it. That's Davis. That's Gurney on the right side. Long cross court. Hoover will try with a three. Hits it. Brian Hoover averages 5 points a game. He gets in the three column. It's a 2-point lead by Charter.
Big basket by Hoover. They needed to break the ice, Ken, get on the scoreboard. That did it. 5 threes to score, just starting the first period.
They switch. Oh, man, I think he walked. I've seen football players that get that much yardage this year.
It depends where you're playing. In the NBA, that'd have been all right.
Right quickly, the Spartans respond. Gurney guys baseline, kicks it back to the foul line. Anderson Hanford kicks it back out to Hoover again, high up the top of the backboard, and that'll be blown dead. 5-3 ball game. We're just about 2 minutes into the first period here at the Magic Dome between the Hughesville Spartans and the Huskies of Prep Charter.
First game of the doubleheader. This is a showcase Saturday night here at the Magic Dome. Williamsport and White Plains coming up in the second game.
Grant looking at the defense. They like to dribble. Morgan. Boy, Gurney's drawn a tough assignment on him. He nails it. Morgan with 5 points already in the ball game. 4-point lead.
They played here earlier this season, and I think that means a lot to Prep Charter because some teams come in here and the depth from the basket to the back wall bothers them. And this Prep Charter team hasn't bothered them so far. They're up 7-3.
Here on the Fairfield Game of the Week. First of 2 for you today. Gurney lobs it down inside, Crownover. Back out against the zone. Hoover coming in from the wing. Now they're trying to dump it to Crownover. Draws the double team, which this team will use their height inside. Here's the long three again, no good, and the rebound, Tyree Harris.
They use their height in the outside too. Quick entry pass.
Ferguson Myrick puts it up and in. We're going to get a timeout. Going to be called by the Spartans. Any 3 whole subs, $12.99. Any day, any time at Subway. It's a Subway timeout. 9-5 Prep Charter. 9-3 Prep Charter.
Ode to the...
Welcome back at the Magic Dome. Nick Tagliaferri, baby, to call a quick timeout. Game's getting into the wrong speed for his team, and they've got to figure out how to attack the zone.
And, you know, you talked about the height underneath. The height out front's bothering them, too. They haven't seen height at the guard position like this.
Resin Davis responds. He's the man. That's his 44th three-pointer of the year. It's back to a 3-point game at 9-6.
All right, now they need some defense, get some rebounds off that defensive board, and get it back into their end of the court.
Grant had 16, his first appearance here, drives the lane, can't get it. Rebound comes out, Spartans. Ball loose on the midcourt side, picked back up by Jesse Morgan. Huskies will attack. Left corner, Grant all alone, can't hit it. But Ferguson Myrick gets the rebound on the baseline, pushes in. There'll be a foul against Myrick for clearing out. He was a little bit too vigorous trying to get that position.
Yeah, he was hung out underneath the basket. I mean, he couldn't get out unless he cleared out to get back in to get that shot off. They back up court. It looks like Prep Charter's in a they're in a matchup, I guess. Yeah, I thought they were in a zone. Looks like they may be in a matchup zone here.
Davis and Ferguson, Myrick go at it. Davis gets the ball back to Crownover. Davis kicks it out left corner. Gurney for the tray. We're tied. It's a tie ball game. That's what the Spartans needed out of that timeout by Nick Tagliaferri.
And I'll tell you what, good shooting from the outside. Now they need to get some rebounds. They get some rebounds, get it back into play, and they're going to stay with this team.
Great Spartan cheering section calling for defense. Morgan floats, hands it in underneath, up, not in good position, and Hanford will get the rebound.
Good job by Hanford.
Anderson gets the ball up on the sideline break. Davis down low. Crownover's going to go at him, going to have himself blocked by O'Neal, the 6'8"er. And here comes Prep Charter.
Crownover's going to have to look to push that ball back outside. Too much height under there for him. He's got to use his ability to get rebounds, not worry about the scoring unless he has a clear shot.
Morgan for three. Hits it. Jesse Morgan picks up a tray.
You know, Hughesville's done a good job. They really haven't, Prep Charter hasn't done a good job in transition. They're shooting from the outside just like Hughesville. We have a perimeter game going by both teams here.
12-9, Prep Charter leading it. 3:22 to play first quarter at Williamsport's Magic Dome. Into the ball game now is Willie Nicholson. Willie Nicholson comes in. Tyree Harris sitting down. Spartans also making a change, bringing in Drew Eisworth to the ball game. Eisworth comes in. Ooh, almost a steal. Davis saves it. Gets it left side Hoover. Looks up top. Gurney for another three. Can't get it. Ball kicked around inside, and Parrish Grant lost it out of bounds. Hughesville will have it on the offensive end.
Good job by Hanford of keeping that ball alive. He stayed with it. Didn't get the first rebound, stayed with it, and just caused enough chaos in there to have the ball go off of a Prep Charter player, so Hughesville retains possession.
See Jordan Holmes there. He just came into the ball game. He's going to key the inbounds pass. Davis will launch off the back of the iron. Ball knocked out of bounds. Going to be a Prep Charter basketball. Prep Charter basketball.
You know, one of the things Nick Tagliaferri talked about in the pregame was the fact that they've not played against a team with guards this big and the range of their arms when they reach out. And you'll notice on the passes, they're struggling a little bit getting passes to clear.
But Prep Charter again throws it away. Another turnover by Prep Charter, number 3 in the ball game for Prep Charter.
Prep Charter is not focused right now, Ken.
Well, as I said, they play a lot of one-on-one basketball, and a lot of times they don't give it up too easily.
Yeah.
And sometimes when they try to make the spectacular play as opposed to the fundamental play.
Right. They may underestimate this Hughesville team, but as Coach Tagliaferri talked about in the pregame, that this team has played against inner city teams. They played up in Boston, played in Philadelphia, play in Harrisburg. So, you know, they've seen competition like this.
Skip pass left side to Davis. Davis outside Gurney. Eisworth gives it off to Holmes. Left corner, Resin Davis from that corner. Can't hit it. Trying for the tie. And the ball comes out to Ferguson Myrick at 6'6". Their height somewhat deceptive on the TV monitor, you might notice. Morgan into the paint. He's just trying to control the game, and he missed it on that one. And this time, here come the Spartans up court. Brian Gurney.
I don't know if I think it was Jordan Holmes. Great defense against him. Did not allow him to get that over.
We're tied again at 12. Brian Gurney.
Gurney hits one from deep center field. Ties the ball game up at 12, as you said, Ken Sawyer. And Hughesville's not going to wait. Hughesville's saying, hey, we can play with you guys.
So important right here. That's one over to the side. Shaquille puts it up and in. Shaquille Duncan got the follow-up and that big jam. 14-12 now. Spartans try to take the lead for the first time. They can't. Holmes missed it. Here comes that transition game. Grant looks left side to Nicholson. Blocked away, but a foul's going to be called. Foul on Brian Gurney, his first team foul. And as you can tell, we're about a minute and a half left to play in this first period, and that's only the second foul that we've seen in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a strange game. Hughesville seems to have taken over the tempo of this game, and it's got it into a perimeter game, which is what they want. They stay there, they're going to be in good shape. If this game goes underneath into the paint, then just a distinct advantage will go to Prep Charter.
In the ball game for Prep Charter, Zaid Holloman comes into the ball game, and Tyree Harris back in the ball game. Up and good. Nicholson makes 1 out of 2. So it should be 15-12. Prep Charter Huskies leading the Hughesville Spartans. Minute and a half in the first quarter. Hoover back in the ball game from the left wing. Try to tie it up, hits it. Hoover ties it up again. So Brian Hoover and the Spartans living on the three. If I'm correct, they have only 3-point baskets in this ball game so far. That's all they have. 5 3-point field goals is what the Spartans have. Tied at 15. Down the lane, Nicholson can't get it to roll. Tries to put it back up. There's going to be a foul inside against the Spartans.
You're right, Ken Sawyer. 5 threes for the Hughesville Spartans so far tonight, and that gives them their 15 points. Prep Charter also with 15 goes to the foul line and tries to take the lead. Hughesville has had trouble taking over the lead. They can tie the game up. Prep Charter always comes back with an answer at the other end. But so far, been a great first quarter for the Hughesville Spartans.
Nicholson misses. He'll try again. Dan Brinkley talking to the officials on the far side as he makes substitutions. I think the coaches loved when Pennsylvania did away with making him sit down.
Yeah.
They'd like to be able to move, get some of that energy off. Nicholson back at the line, under a minute to go. 15 all. 16-15 Prep Charter now.
All right, good opportunity here for Hughesville to break that tie and
little pressure
they've been
here.
able to catch. Yeah, a little pressure and
Ball
threw the
deflected
ball
out
away,
of bounds, and the ball will be taken back over by Prep Charter.
Yeah, I don't think it was deflected. I think it was just thrown away. I thought it was deflected too.
My eyes deceived me. Heilemann. Give that ball off. They're going to go into the paint, kick it back to Nicholson. Nicholson, stutter step, kicks it out to the corner to Harris, puts it up, no good. Ball kicked around, and here come the Spartans and Jordan Holmes.
Good hustle by Holmes.
Left side Davis, who has not had a break yet in this ball game. They go right side to Hoover. Brian centers up. 25 seconds left to play in this first period. 16-15 Prep Charter. Hughesville for the lead. Can't get it. Rebound comes down to Heilemann. Heilemann bringing it up court.
15 seconds to go here in the first.
Grant looks over. Under 10 seconds now. Harris faces the basket. Inside to Tanksley. Puts it up. It's good. Tanksley puts it up and good for 2 points. And it's 18-15. So that's a scoreboard update from the folks at Subway. Any 3-hole subs, $12.99 any day, anytime. End of 1, Prep Charter 18, Hughesville 15. Welcome back for quarter number 2. Ken Sawyer sitting in for Gary Crispin in game 1 of the doubleheader, along with Babe Mayer. The veteran color announcer. How do you like that? Huh?
Veteran color. I've been doing it for 20 years. I guess that qualifies, doesn't it?
Yep.
I think most veterans retire.
Yep. We're set to go. Yeah.
Most veterans retire after 20 years, Ken. I'm
Young
still
man,
here.
I thought they were waiting for us. But
Yeah, I
they're
thought
waiting
they
for
were too,
Nicholson
yeah.
to fix his pants there.
Okay, we're ready.
Spartans have the ball down by 3 as we start the second quarter. They're going to spread it out a little bit here. They've got Greg Taggart in the ball game here to start for the Spartans in this second period. Back against the zone, looking to go to the baseline to Crownover. Ball knocked out of bounds. It stays for Hughesville. Stays Hughesville's ball. Taggart will do the inbounds underneath.
Someone must have touched that. I didn't think anybody did. I thought it was a clear shot out of bounds.
So the Prep Charter players.
Yeah. You know something you notice about the Prep Charter players? There's no complaining. They line up and play.
Down inside, ball kicked around. And Tyree Harris and now Tankersley get in there, and they'll tie it up, and the ball will go over to Prep Charter on the alternate possession. They lead by 3. We've just started period 2 here at Williamsport High School's Magic Dome. White Plains and the Millionaires coming up in game 2 of our doubleheader.
I think Hughesville has to keep away from pushing that ball inside to Crownover. He's outmatched underneath. He has 3-4 guys that have height on him, and he's getting tied up with the ball.
Nicholson makes the move out front, down the lane, off the square. So Nicholson comes off the bench. He's got 4, and that gives them their biggest second twice. They've had their biggest lead. They had a 5-point lead in the first quarter early, and now once again a 5-point lead. We've had 3 ties in the ball game. 2 of the top 10 AA teams in the state going head-to-head at the Magic Dome. Could be a preview of something to happen later on. Spartans turn it over.
Hughesville's got to settle down. Nick Tagliaferri may have to call a timeout if they come up empty in the next trip up court. They're not protecting the ball right now. That was an unforced turnover right there. They almost had an unforced turnover on the play before, but I guess a Prep Charter player must have nicked it as it went out of bounds. But you're down by 5. You got to protect the ball.
And this is a game you want to say. Morgan tries another 3 that he's hit early in the ball game. They keep it alive. Grant follows with a 3. He can't hit it either. And the ball comes back out, and there's going to be a whistle call. They're going to call it on. Looks like Tankersley's going to looks like they're going to call it on Tanksley from Prep Charter. So it will be Hughesville ball in the backcourt. And indeed it is. Amon Tanksley, a 6'5 freshman, picks up his first. Just 2 team fouls each way. Foul line is something we haven't seen a lot of early in this one.
My lineup I have has all the wrong numbers, Ken, so I'm leaning on you a little bit to come up with the players.
All right, right side, Davis down the lane. Got knocked away behind, gets it back, puts it up and in. Resin Davis, spectacular rebound play.
Good job, went up against the bigger man, got the ball off to the side, around his arm, and got it to drop. Big basket, they needed that.
Grant down the lane, can't hit it. Rebound, Crownover. Spartans keep fighting. They've cut it to a 3-point deficit. Crownover back to Davis. Tied. 4th tie of the ball game. We're at 20.
But I tell you, Nick Tagliaferri hit the nail on the head. His team is not intimidated by this Prep Charter team. I think Prep Charter may have taken them a little bit lightly for stepping on the floor. They better kick it into gear here.
On that left side, Morgan goes to the hole, puts it up, no good. He hit early, but he's not been able to hit lately, and the Spartans have been making it hard on him. Gurney for the lead, can't get it. Rebound comes out.
They can't break that tie. They can tie it up, but they can't get that lead back. That was a good opportunity there.
Grant found a hole, but he gets fouled as he goes to the hole. Spartans, in trying to do some help defense, have to come over and commit the foul to keep him from getting an easy basket there. Foul on Brian Hoover, his first 3rd team foul against the Spartans. That's going to put Parrish Grant at the free throw line. He's one of the little guys on this team, 6'2".
Yeah, this team has some good height, and they look big. Not only are they big, but they're that tall, thin-looking player that even looks bigger than what they are, and they can jump. This is a good squad. I don't think they've taken advantage of their strength. I don't think they've pushed the ball in underneath Ken and taken the shot from in the paint nearly enough. They're taking a lot of outside shots, and I think that's to Hughesville's advantage.
Ferguson Myrick back in the ball game for Prep Charter. He's at 6'6". Started the ball game as a bucket. Meanwhile, Grant gave him a 1-point lead. He can't hit the second one. Huskies not performing that well in the foul line. Left side, Davis for the lead. Yes, Spartans lead by 2.
Finally got the lead. Finally got the lead. Good basket. Resin Davis with a nice shot from the outside, and another 3 for Hughesville. That's how many threes for Hughesville?
3 of them by Davis alone.
7 threes in this ball game.
Spartans up by a pair. Morgan can't hit it, and the rebound comes out to Holmes. Jordan brings it up. Hughesville trying to expand the lead. Davis guys the baseline. They block it with Duncan knocking the ball down out of bounds. It'll be off the Spartans underneath.
Resin Davis hit it on the way back down, so to come back up this way. You got to stay away from that. That's not a good shot selection there by Davis.
Well, I think he's hoping to get fouled. I think is what he's really hoping to do.
And he might. But, they have so much height that they're going to be on top of you. And they're not going to pick up a lot of those fouls.
Spartans by 2 under the 5-minute mark to play in the first half. Ferguson puts it up, no good. Ferguson, Myrick, and Davis gets the rebound. Spartans doing an excellent job on their defensive board. Holmes underneath, tries the reverse, can't hit it. There's a whistle and a foul, and Jordan Holmes will go to the free throw line for the Hughesville Spartans.
Good drive by Jordan Holmes, came back and tried to hook the reverse back up and get it in. Got off a lower shot, did pick up the foul.
2 fouls on Ferguson Myrick now. So see if Dan Brinkley puts him back down. Many times a coach, when he gets to fouls in the first half, will sit him. Holmes misses the first.
Dan Brinkley's got to be a little disturbed with his team right now. Down by 2, 4:40 to go here in the second period. And I don't know what their game plan was. Maybe they're at their game plan right now, but I don't think they're using their strength at all. And you're right, Ken, they like to go one-on-one. They don't pass the ball a lot.
Morgan out front, looks for an opening. He's going to be doubled. He tries to pass it, and the Spartans on the double team. Addison Hanford on the floor, gets it back. Here's Davis for another expansion of the lead. Can't do it, out of bounds off Parrish Grant. Spartans have it underneath their basket. They lead by 2, just over 4 minutes to play first half, and Spartans will turn the ball inbounds again.
Addison Hanford will sit down. Drew Eisworth comes into the ballgame. Boy, Hanford had some big plays in this ballgame. That last rebound was big.
Crownover goes up, blocked by Duncan, puts it right back up and in.
Good follow by Crownover. 4-point lead for the Hughesville Spartans. 4 minutes to go here in this second quarter.
That's what staying with it will do. And when you go in there, just keep putting it up. Outside, Nicholson tries to penetrate, fall away jumper, no good, didn't get anything, out of bounds. It'll be a Spartan basketball.
Eisworth knocked the ball off the Prep Charter player. Good play by Eisworth, and the Hughesville Spartans coming back up court. And Prep Charter just totally out of sync right now, Ken.
Indeed. They certainly are. But the Spartans are the reason. The Spartans,
Absolutely.
Spartans are playing their kind of basketball.
And not going away. I mean, the Spartans, they get down by 5. The Spartans come right back. They got a 4-point lead right now. So that's 9 unanswered points.
Gurney can't hit it. Rebound comes down to Ferguson Myrick. They left him in with 2 fouls. Parrish Grant right side. Looks, feeds it down low. Duncan goes up, blocked away nicely by Eisworth. He got in the way. He didn't block the shot, but he made it a difficult shot. They missed it, and now a technical foul is going to be called on Dan Brinkley. Dan Brinkley's being teed up. So a technical on the bench of Prep Charter.
Well, Brinkley thought there was a foul on that last trip up court. I thought there may have been 2. Officials didn't see it. Brinkley obviously must have said something on the far side to one of the officials, because he didn't even bat an eye. Boom, he hit the tee, and you're at the foul line. So oftentimes that's something that was verbal, not something that was persistent.
Davis, an 80% free throw shooter, misses the first of the technicals.
Neither team shooting well from the foul line.
No. And up and hits the second one. 12 points now for Resin Davis.
And a 5-point lead for the Hughesville Spartans. That's been the biggest lead on the night for either team.
30-second timeout coming up here. Any 3 Subway whole subs, $12.99 any day, anytime at Subway in the greater Williamsport area. 3:20 to play. Spartans up by 5.
For great foot, River Avenue.
Back with the Spartans ball after the timeout. 26-21, 3:20 to play in this first half. Spartans trying to expand their lead. They're making Prep Charter come out of their defense and use more of the floor, and that should give the Spartans some opening here. You notice Prep Charter sliding out further away from that baseline. And there's the attack you expect by Davis up and in. He's got 14 points.
Boy, there was a different look that Prep Charter hasn't seen. Davis drove that ball down the lane perfectly and got the easy layup.
It'll be a foul this time as Morgan attacks. You know, I was just saying how the Prep Charter came out and the Spartans spread the floor, and they went with them, and that opened up that baseline. Here's a Fairfield replay. Let's take a look at it.
Resin Davis, look at this. He just finds the lane and catches them flat-footed. Ken talked about it. They spread the floor, and to challenge Hughesville to say, can you drive that ball to the basket if we spread the floor? They did exactly that, picked up those 2 points. That's a stunner.
Foul was on Gurney, and this time Ferguson Myrick spins out of the inbounds pass to make it 28-23. 2 on Gurney now.
Yep, I really can't believe that Prep Charter isn't going to that all the time. I mean, get it into the paint. You got a height advantage, and give it a try.
Davis again for the launch. Hits it! Oh, baby! 17 points.
Boy,
Davis.
He's got the field biggest lead of the night. An 8-point lead for the Hughesville Spartans. They have in this game, Ken, get this, 8 threes, only 1 2-point field goal.
And Davis has that as part of his 17 points. To go along with his 5. Up and good. Put up by Parrish Grant. He gets his first field goal. It's 31-25. 2 minutes to play first half. Spartans on top. They have the ball. Ooh, Crownover wanted it. He's back inside against Grant. Here comes Holmes, baseline jumper, no good. Crownover trying to go back up. Held ball. Held ball belongs to Hughesville.
That's where Crownover, I think, should be played tonight, and how he should play is he's got to get rebounds. You can't worry about scoring. Can't worry about pushing the ball into the paint to him. He's got to set himself up, box out, and get rebounds. Did a great job right there to keep that ball alive.
Davis again at Taggart's pass. In and out, it wouldn't stay. Ball tapped around, and the rebound, Parrish Grant. Well, the Hughesville fans, they got a great student section across the way, and they were ready to go for it. They were ready to hit on that one. Down low, Ferguson Myrick spins. Ball is on the floor. Probably Crownover's going to get this one. If so, they'll still be not in the shooting situation yet with 1:38. That's only the 5th team foul.
Foul's going to go against Crownover. That'll be his first, team's 4th. 1:38 to go, and that's the team's 5th.
Morgan puts it up for the three. No good. Ball kept alive by Crownover.
Good rebound. Good rebound.
Almost gets his number as points per game, but tonight, as Babe pointed out, his role is defense and rebounds. Spartans again outside. Prep Charter coming out a little bit more on the defense. 6-point lead by the Spartans, a minute 15. Morgan tried to steal, throws the ball off Taggart out of bounds. It'll be a Prep Charter ball. Nicholson back in. And it will be Grant that sits down on the far side. Minute 14 to play, a 6-point lead headed toward halftime. Coming up, we'll be having our halftime program with the folks at Fish Real Estate. Along with Joan Kennedy, we'll be presenting our halftime show here on Cable Sports. First of two for you. Oh, nice spin. Morgan baseline to Duncan. He misses the dunk, but he's going to get fouled. And that's really the foul that Brinkley wanted earlier when he got his tee.
Yeah. Yep, but Prep Charter's made a nice adjustment. Coach Brinkley's done a great job of saying, hey guys, we got to push the ball underneath to the paint, see if we can score underneath.
Key foul there. Resin Davis just picked up his second personal foul. Well, that's something to watch. Only a minute to play here in the first half as Shaquille Duncan, the 6'8" sophomore, puts it up and in. Reason. And it's up, no good. Ball rebounded by Harris, but he was on the end line.
Yeah, I thought Harris came over the top that time to get that rebound. He did step out of bounds, so no damage. Hughesville will bring it in. Full court pressure, Ken.
Minute and 1 to go in the half. Foul on Duncan, reaching over the top. Shaquille Duncan committing the foul.
It's only the 15th foul that'll go against Prep Charter, so it'll still be an inbounds.
Hanford will do the inbounds play.
First foul against the big guy.
1 minute left in the half. 31-26. Spartans leading it. Duncan sits down. They bring back in the ball game Amin Tanksley. Hoover in the backcourt. Up the right side. Davis from the Prep Charter bench. Hanford trying to go down in low. Going to be a reach around foul on Tyree Harris. Tyree Harris picks up his first 16 foul on Prep Charter.
One more for either team will put him in the bonus.
It's interesting that neither team playing for the last shot.
Right.
Sometimes you see that even with 52 seconds. Taggart kicks it out. Saved by Davis. Gets it back. Oh, off his shoulder. He wasn't expecting to pass back from Hanford that fast.
Ryzen Davis really with a nice play there to keep that ball alive, but just couldn't hang on to it when he got underneath the basket. So down by 5 points. Prep Charter with 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. We'll try to pick up or close down that lead.
Ferguson Myrick. Hanford shuts him off the baseline nicely. Back outside. Nicholson fakes the three. Wants to dribble in. Can't. Gets it back out. Morgan can't hit that shot anymore. Rebound underneath Harris. Blocked away by Taggart. Follow up by Tanksley. No good. Prep Charter had the ball but out of bounds. They were too far under. 20 seconds left in the half.
Good call by the official. I saw his foot out of bounds. Thought maybe the official was going to miss it. He didn't. Full court pressure again. Nick Tagliaferri has got to get his team to break this pressure. 20 seconds to go, Ken. They should hold this for one shot right now. Last time they didn't.
Here's a steal and a jam being put back up and in by Ferguson Myrick. 31-28, 10 seconds left. Spartans with the lead. Trying to close it with a basket. Gurney double team, looking for someone to get the ball away to. Kicks it back out. Davis, it counts, it counts. Davis hit it before the basket. Oh, the buzzer went off at halftime. Wow, what a shot. So the Hughesville Spartans have come back.
Ryzen Davis hits a big one, Ken. They're up by 6 at halftime, and I'll tell you what, this crowd is on their feet.
Any three-hole subs, $12.99 any day, anytime at Subway in the greater Williamsport area. At the half, it's 34 for Hughesville, 28 for Prep Charter.
Rod Armor, Allstate Insurance. Who are they and where are they now? And Ken, this crowd is on their feet. The Hughesville Spartans are beating Prep Charter at the half.
Back to the Fish GMAC Real Estate Halftime Show with Joan Kennedy. I'm Ken Sawyer filling in for Gary Chrisman tonight on an emergency fill-in. And tell you, what a great ball game to be able to do. Prep Charter had a 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter. The Spartans outscored the Huskies 19-10 in the second quarter. Davis with 20 points, and of course the big bucket at the end. And I think maybe we might get a chance to see that bucket that he hit to sort of put a nail in the halftime coffin. Here, babe, you describe it.
Now here's a look at it. The clock is running down. It looks like they're going to be trapped. They're going to get it out to Davis on the corner. The buzzer goes off just as it goes over the apex of the shot. It counts, and I'll tell you what, the Hughesville Spartan crowd here, backed up by the Williamsport Millionaire crowd this here, was on their feet and gave them a standing ovation as they went off the court. Ken, I tell you what, this Hughesville team is playing surprisingly, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but surprisingly well against a Prep Charter team that's ranked number 1 in the state.
34-28, the Spartans lead. And Davis's 20 points are huge, obviously. But I think just as huge is that Morgan got shut down after getting 8 quick points beginning of the ball game, and the Spartans started to play defense and started to rebound, and that took all 5 of the guys, plus the guys that came in off the bench as well. So I think Nick Tagliaferri has to be saying, yes, Ryzen, you're getting all the points, but everybody else is playing part of this as well.
And I think the Prep Charter is a little stunned that Hughesville is in this ball game. I think they thought this was going to be a blowout. It's far from that, Ken.
Yeah, and they have to really look at how they're going to attack it. That's the Fish GMAC halftime show with Joan Kennedy. 34-28, and Spartans lead at halftime. Second half's coming up. Don't miss it.
The Rennie Rodarmel Insurance Agency has been providing a wide range of insurance products to your friends and family for the past 29 years. Whether you need auto, home, life insurance, business insurance, annuities, or CDs, the Rennie Rodarmel Agency wants to be your agent for life. We're located on Westminster Drive and Legion Road in Pennsdale. Our friendly, helpful staff is available for all your insurance needs. Call Rennie Rodarmel Insurance Agency today.
I hope you are enjoying the game. Hi, I'm Alex from AAA Travel. As you know, AAA Travel can arrange your travel plans for cruises, tours, Las Vegas trips, Disney trips, and European trips. I would like to talk to you about all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean. You can find all-inclusive resorts from St. Thomas to Aruba, from San Juan to the Bahamas, and from Jamaica to the Dominican Republic. I prefer the all-inclusive resorts in Mexico myself. The great things about all-inclusive resorts are all your meals, entertainment, and drinks are included. There are many dining options. You can eat at the buffets, which are spectacular and have a wide variety of food. Or you can make reservations at one of the many specialty restaurants. They vary from Caribbean food to Japanese food to steakhouses and European specialties. And trust me, the food is wonderful. My favorite all-inclusive resort is in Mexico. The new vacation spot called Riviera Maya is located about 50 miles south of Cancun. This resort...
The halftime's almost concluded as the two teams come out. Let's look at some of Dick Mason's stats that we didn't get a chance to look at earlier. From the free throw line, Prep Charter 4 for 8. Hughesville just 1 for 4. Rebounding's big. Prep Charter 21-15 is what they're leading at rebound. And then you can have this when I'm done with it. 5 offensive rebounds for the Prep Charter Huskies, 3 for Hughesville, 8 turnovers against 4 in the ball game. So you're seeing that you're seeing that Hughesville's in good numbers there, and I think a lot of the second quarter is where they really got themselves going on that.
Yeah, you know, and I'm really surprised at Prep Charter's approach to this game. I think they're a little stunned right now that Hughesville is this good and Hughesville is hanging with them the way they are. They really haven't taken advantage of their height in the paint. I think they need to start pushing the ball underneath. And then you mentioned at halftime, Ken, that you're really surprised it took them so long to get into the full court pressure.
Yeah.
And they seem to disturb Hughesville a little bit with that pressure, particularly with their height. They have a long arm span that they reach out with, and it makes it difficult to get that ball out of that short area. Once you get in the open floor, they're a little bit better.
Right.
But when you're trying to get that ball in bounds, it's tough to do. So, you know, I think that at Prep Charter, if they go to that in the second half, could get back in this ball game. But if Hughesville keeps shooting the way they've been shooting from the three-point mark, Ken, it's going to be tough to get back in any ball game because you're not going to match, you're not going to counter threes with twos.
Nick Tagliaferri probably says, do we really have to take halftime?
Yeah.
Can we just keep playing?
I've been there. He wanted to stay out on the floor. I guarantee
That's right. All right, Jesse Morgan's going to throw the ball. There's Nick, as you see, getting a little sip before things get started, as you also saw during our halftime. We've got a full crowd here tonight. This is the first time this year that we've had the end zone seats opened up here at the Magic Dome. And we're set to go. We're set to play the second half. Spartans leading by 6. Huskies get the ball to start the second half. Parrish Grant starting it. We've got Harris. Myrick down in the lane, throws it up, not going to get it. His own tap, back up and good. Long arms, Babe was just talking about there on the offensive end. 34-30. All right, Spartans look. And they're playing, and Prep Charter's going to play a man-to-man. The Huskies in a man-to-man with them. Hoover. Gurney drives that baseline, needs some help. Ball kicked out, stolen. They throw it ahead. Shaquille Duncan chases it down, puts it up at the bottom of the rim and misses the layup. Here comes back Davis. Rising, drives right down the lane, kicks it out. Gurney, Brian puts up from the foul line and hits it. He's got 8 points in the ball game now for Brian Gurney.
Prep Charter didn't do a very good job of getting back up court on defense. They were a little sluggish out there on the floor.
Prep Charter's biggest lead was 5 in the first half. Spartan's biggest lead was 8. We had 4 ties in the first half. The last one was at 20. Try for the 3 is no good. Rebound Tyree Harris gives it to Shaquille Duncan, who puts it up, wave it off steps. Going to be called for steps. Needed one more little bounce in there to get his foot right.
He says, yeah, but you know, when I watch the 76ers play, they take 3 steps.
36-30, we've just started the second half. Hughesville with the ball and the lead. Hoover being caught in a precarious position there. Straddled the half court, but got out of it. Hanford back out to Davis. Drives in, goes to the hole. It won't go, but the tap up, oh, it just missed. Here comes Prep Charter. Grant pushing it up the floor, up, no good. Crowdover gets back, long pass Davis behind the defense. He'll go to the hole, put it up, blocked away, but Hoover follows up and in. Brian Hoover with 8 points now.
There's a prime example right there. Prep Charter not getting back on defense.
Timeout being called by Prep Charter. They're going to be calling, what is it, going to be a 30? Yes, a 30-second timeout. Any 3-hole subs. $12.99 anytime, any day at Subway. 38-30, Spartans on top. We're back to play. Prep Charter's Dan Brinkley, who got a technical in the first half, calling a timeout quickly there. And
he's got to be concerned with the hustle of his team right now. I mean, you're losing coming out of halftime, and they're very lethargic out there on the floor. I mentioned earlier they weren't getting back on defense. Then you have a fast breakdown. You miss 2 shots, and there's still nobody back on defense. You get the third and get it to fall. I mean, that can't happen. I'm sure that's what Dan Brinkley addressed over there in that huddle.
Spartans have tied their biggest lead, 8 points. And I think what gets you is, you know, we focus so much on offense, but they're playing good defense, and they're harassing the shots being put up by the taller Prep Charter players. There's your height's not everything. Morgan puts it up. First one he's hit since the first quarter. He's got 10 points now. 10 points for Jesse Morgan. 10 points. 38-33 Spartans. Hoover. Davis. Davis drives in. Rejected by Ferguson Myrick. He knocks it over to the bench.
Davis got a break right there because he lost his balance. He tripped. He was falling down and just tried to get a shot off at the last minute. It gets blocked out of bounds. They retain possession.
Hoover pushed. He got pushed by Nicholson. So Nicholson commits the foul for Prep Charter. And that's the first one we've had in the second half, his first personal.
Reason Davis, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned it at halftime, had 17 points in the second quarter of that 20. He has a total of 20.
Oh, nice spin move up and in. It's good. Count it. Go to the foul line. Josh Crownover, his second field goal.
Crownover did a great job. Reverse pivot. Shook the man that was covering him. Someone tried to come over at the last minute. Couldn't do it. He got the ball to drop in. 40-33 score. Here's a replay. He hits the front end. Here it is. Now watch this. Reverse pivot. Loses the man that's on him. He comes up, tries to get him from behind. Good job by Josh Crownover.
And that's the Fairfield replay of the Fairfield Auto Group Game of the Week here at the Magic Dome. The Hughesville Spartans leading Prep Charter 41-33. If it stays this way, this will shake up those state rankings headed toward the playoffs. And remember, there's only a few weeks left in the regular season. Morgan trying to take over the game. Crownover with a big rebound. Holy smokes.
I'll tell you what, Crownover is doing a great job underneath.
Davis fall away. It won't stay. Rebound comes out to Prep Charter.
Crownover earlier, I didn't get a chance to mention it, had a rebound at one end and a great defensive play at the other end, and an offense play at the other end. He's really hustling right now.
Ferguson Myrick tries to move in on Hanford. He does, puts it up and gets it. Ferguson Myrick at 6'6". He has 8 points now in the ball game. 41-35. Down low, Crownover. Backs in. Steps being called. Spartans turn it over for the 9th time in the ball game.
That time, Hughesville did not do a good job of moving without the ball. Crownover had the ball underneath. Nobody moved. He had no one to get it to. He had to put it on the floor, and that's when he got called for the steps.
One of the reasons some of the Philadelphia teams like to get out and play games like this is, in a sense, ball almost stolen away. PIAA ball and Philly ball are different. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Crownover again. Another big rebound for Crownover. Up court, Davis. Gurney, yes sir.
Number 3.
He nails it. He's got 11 points in the ball game. It's a 9-point Spartan lead, biggest of the night at 44-35.
4 minutes to go here in the third period, and Hughesville has scored since they took the lead in the second quarter. They've led this ever since.
Nice trail by Gurney. I hear a whistle. Yes, I heard a whistle. Double dribble called. Double dribble called. Not a popular call with most of the folks in this. Turnover number 10 for the Spartans in this ball game.
And I tell you, Prep Charter, I mean, they're a confident team. They won the state championship last year. They're an excellent ball club, but they got to pick it up, Ken. They look awful sluggish in there.
Down low, they back in, fall away, up and good by Ferguson Myrick. He's got 10 points now in the ball game. 10 points, 44-37.
And right there is what I think can turn it around for Prep Charter if they can push that ball inside.
Crownover, fall away jumper blocked by Ferguson Myrick. Morgan across the timeline. Left side, Grant goes hard to the hole, partially blocked away. Picked up by Morgan, blocked away again. Held ball goes to Prep Charter. Prep Charter ball.
Well, I tell you, it's some good defense there and good hustle by the Hughesville Spartans. The Hughesville Spartans know they can't match up height-wise. They got to hustle to make up the difference. Timeout, Hughesville.
30-second timeout coming up. Any 3-hole subs, $12.99 anytime, any day. The subways in the greater Williamsport area. Hughesville leads Prep Charter 44-37. Sawyer and Babe Mayer back here as we play ball at the Magic Dome. Tonight, Spartans up by 7. They've led by as many as 9. We've had 4 ties. Prep Charter's biggest lead 5 early in the ball game. They come out in a press and the Spartans break it quickly. Gurney looks right side for Hoover. Hoover needs help. Davis is there for him. And notice how the Spartans have spread this floor out now, giving them some more room to run their offense. And that's opening things up for Crownover inside, but he gets it outside. Holmes can't hit it. Hoover gets it back. There's going to be a foul called inside. Foul on Prep Charter.
I'll tell you, right now, the Spartans are just out hustling Prep Charter, Ken.
Yep.
You know, you saw the first game against Williamsport. Did they look this lethargic in that first game, or is this something that you're seeing in this game here?
I think it's very similar. Remember I said to you in the pregame show how I felt that one of the things I was interested to see was with Dan Brinkley. Here's Davis. No, couldn't get this one. If Coach Brinkley would bring him in earlier, they came in and got off the bus last time, and I really think there's something to getting into town, getting your legs back after the long trip and so forth. But you don't get the feeling that Prep Charter plays with passion.
Yeah.
And I felt that after the first game. Hughesville's playing with passion.
Yep,
they
absolutely.
want to win this ball game. They want to show people around the state that the Spartans are coming to the state playoffs.
That's a great point, Ken, because that's exactly what we're seeing out here on the floor.
44-37. We're still in the third quarter. Long way to go. Spartans playing really good, have a good plan. They dump it back high-low, down inside, and Ferguson Myrick puts it up and in. Now remember, he had 23 against Williamsport. Morgan took the offense early. They're starting to go to him now, and Ferguson Myrick at 6'6", starting to show what he can do on the low block. Spartans having to handle this pressure defense. Right side, good effort by Holmes all the way in. Tries to pass it off, keeps it alive. Hoover off the bank, we'll count it. Brian Hoover with 11 points in the ball game now.
I'll tell you what, that was a big bucket to back up to an 8-point lead. 47-39, 2 minutes to go here in the third period. And Prep Charter right now, they better wake up because they're getting it put right back in their face. Every time they do something good, you get an answer from Hughesville.
Harris tries to put it up, no good. Rebound comes out. Gurney looks ahead. Crownover can't hold it. Ball knocked out of bounds off the foot of Nicholson, thank goodness, for the Spartan fans. That's one of the reasons they couldn't hold on, because that ball got there and the blue shirts knocked it out of bounds. Remember, coming up after this one, White Plains Tigers taking on the Williamsport Millionaires.
Hoover sits down. Taggart comes into the ball game for the Spartans.
Crownover all alone. They put it up. They come out and find him, though. Ball rejected to the backcourt where Jordan Holmes picks it up. Gets it off Gurney. Left side. Hanford from the corner. In and out. No good. Rebound Parrish Grant. Pushes it all the way. Going to be fouled. Going to be a foul in there as he tries to get down and through. And Grant should go to the free throw line. No, he's not. He should not go to the free throw line. He should be out of bounds.
That'll be the first foul against Hughesville in this second half. Minute 28 to go in the third quarter.
First one on Jordan Holmes in the ball game. Down low. They tried to, that was a weird shot. Holmes gets it. Breaking behind the defense. Brian Gurney tries to save it. He does, but can't control. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Going to be a Hughesville basketball. Hughesville basketball sliding on the far side.
There was a scramble over there on the far side. I thought it went off of Hughesville, but I couldn't see. There was both guys were going for the ball. The referee, the official, had a much better view of what happened.
Spartan cheering section's over there helping him make the call. Students on their
feet. I'm sure they saw it.
Hanford drives in, spins, puts it up, partially rejected. Ball fought for Crownover! 7 points.
That Crownover is hustling underneath, getting rebounds, keeping the ball alive for the Spartans.
Morgan tries to drive in. Going to be a foul on the Spartans. Hughesville's biggest lead right now, 10 points with 1 minute left in the third period. And that's that passion, that intensity we talked about playing with. Crownover's going to sit down. He'll get a real nice hand from his coaching staff. Brian Gurney also going to stand down for a few moments. Bring Drew Eisworth back in the ball game.
Crownover is so outmanned underneath that bucket. Their height advantage is incredible.
Foul inside as Tyree Harris tries to put it up. 49-39 with 55 seconds left in this third period. Hughesville Spartans trying to go to 18-1. Prep Charter stays this way. They'll be 11-5. Harris at the line. It was Taggart's first foul. Second team foul of the half. It's up and good. Tyree Harris hitting at the free throw line. 49-40.
Cuts the Hughesville lead to 9. Hughesville goes back to substitute. Eisworth comes out of the game. Hoover back in. Has Reason Davis sit down yet in this ball game?
No. I don't think so. He's right there and gets the rebound right now. He brings it up. But he hasn't scored in this third quarter, but his teammates have. Hughesville turns the ball over. Duncan gets it off to Morgan, gets it back to Tanksley, up and good. Tanksley has 4 points in the ball game. It's a 7-point Spartan lead, 40 seconds left in this third period. You can't afford those kind of turnovers. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll be Hughesville ball on the side with 36 seconds in the third.
You're absolutely right, Ken Sawyer. This team is Prep Charter is a good team. You can't afford on first turnovers. You've got to get the ball and work it up court. Keep your game going. Keep the rhythm going on your side.
Taggart and Holmes tried to get the ball to Hoover. Big collision. Going to be a foul call on Jesse Morgan.
That was a break for Hughesville. Bad pass. Morgan had the break on the ball. Just happened to collide with the man as he was coming through. That'll be his first. Team's fourth.
One of the things they tell you to do when the ball is coming to you is you receive the ball. You give a target and you go out and reach out for it, and that's where the foul came from, because the receiver was trying to catch the ball and making a motion toward the ball. Double team ball knocked up. They get it. Harris, Morgan, Tanksley up 2. That's Tanksley's with 6 points. It's all of a sudden a 5-point game. Clock running with under 10. 5 seconds. Davis will want to try to put one up. He can. Gives it to Hoover. He got it away. It doesn't count. Any 3-hole subs at Subway, $12.99 anytime, any day. End of 3. It's Spartans 49, Huskies 44. Back here for the fourth quarter of this dynamic AA game being watched by people all over the state to find out how these teams are going to match up and to sort of get those rankings. Morgan in the paint. Doesn't get it. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a Prep Charter ball.
Oh, wow. I thought the Prep Charter player came over the back of Reason Davis that time. Didn't get the call.
Davis did not score. He had 17 points in the second quarter. Did not score. And I don't think he took a shot in that third period.
Well,
Morgan baseline. Count it.
Yep. 3-point ball game. Hughesville needs something here.
12 points for Jesse Morgan.
They've obviously set up a defense to take Davis out of the game.
And they've gone back to their zone now, but they're playing it more aggressively. They're starting to play with a little bit of that passion we talked about a little while ago. There's Davis on the baseline. Nice attack, knocked away. Rebound comes down by Grant. He's going to push it up. Morgan, right side, tries to feed into Duncan, fouled. Duncan's going to be fouled inside. I think that may be Davis's third. Let's see.
It is going to be his third. I heard you say it was his second in the first half, so that will be his third. Going to keep an eye on that one. 7:20 to go here in the fourth period. It's 49-46, 3-point lead for the Hughesville Spartans, Ken, but it was a 10-point lead not long ago, and Prep Charter's been just chipping away.
That's the sophomore you're looking at. Shaquille Duncan puts it up and in. He's got 4 points now in this ball game and cuts it to 2. There's Duncan again. He makes it. It's a 1-point ball game. You can't count this #1 team in the state out. 49-48, Spartans now. And to get that back, Davis attacks. The runner blocked away by Duncan. It goes out of bounds. It's Hughesville ball on the offensive end.
Hughesville's gotten away from working the ball. They've gotten away from their passing game. They're starting to try to drive the ball to the basket, and they're not having success. Just too much height in there.
Earlier, they were shooting the threes. They were hitting the trays early in the ball game. They tried a little different tack in the third quarter, and it worked for a while. But now Morgan kicks the ball up into the bleachers. Spartans right in front of their bench. Nick Tagliaferri and his staff now with 7 minutes left in the ball game, a 1-point lead. Hoover looks. Davis. Davis with 20 points in the ball game. Left corner. It's good.
There it is.
Brian Gurney with a 3, and the Spartans open the lead back up to 4.
Gurney hits a big one from the corner.
14 points.
And boy, they had a drought here for a while. They opened it up with that one.
6.5 to play. Morgan attacks right side, throws it up. It's good, and he's going to go to the line for 1. So Jesse Morgan cuts through for his 14th point. Makes it a 2-point game, and he heads to the line. 6:29 on the counter on the big red board.
That foul's going to go against Eisworth. That'll be the 5th team foul. Only the first against Eisworth. 5th team foul, though, against the Hughesville Spartans. And you don't want to turn this into a foul shooting competition because Hughesville has not shot well from the foul line. Prep Charter started out slow, but they've shot much better since.
Hughesville hasn't had many opportunities either.
No, they haven't.
Going to be a lane violation. He made the shot, but there's a lane violation, so wipe it off.
Boy, there's a break.
6:29 to go. 52-50 Spartans. Notice that Prep Charter's taken off the full court pressure. They're going to pick it up in half court.
You're going to see it come back, though. They're going to end this game with full court pressure. So Hughesville better get used to it.
Gurney gets it to Hoover. Almost stolen by Grant. Held ball is going to be the call. Held ball is the call. It's Spartan ball in the forecourt. Grant and Crownover going out of bounds together with it.
Prep Charter has picked it up. They're you talked about that intensity, that passion, Ken, that you talked about earlier. A little more passion out of this Prep Charter team right now.
Davis wanted to shoot the 3, wouldn't let him. Out front, Gurney. There's going to be a foul call on Ferguson Myrick. He's going to pick up his 3rd personal foul. Spartans would like to get to the foul line a little bit. They barely got to the foul line in the first part of this ball game. They really have had a hard time getting there because of the style of game we've seen.
Yeah, and they shoot a lot from the outside. They're not taking the ball inside. And when they do, they're getting clean blocks.
Into the paint. Underneath, ball picked up by Crownover, but couldn't hold on. And that ball's down low. He was in such a hurry to get up. Where timeout's going to be called. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Any 3-hole subs, $12.99 anytime, any day at any of the Subways in the greater Williamsport area. Spartans by 2 with 6 to play.
Here.
Back the ball game, back underway. Spartans inside. Davis gets blocked but keeps his rebound. Hughesville up by 2. Going to be a foul on Parrish Grant. Grant is going to commit the personal. Spartans are 1 away from going to the 1-1.
That'll be his first. Hughesville did a good job on defense. Couldn't finish though on the far end. They get the ball back.
Hoover lobs it down to the baseline. Too tall for Crownover to get. Prep Charter will have it. 2 points, 5.5 to go in the game. Hughesville up by 2.
Prep Charter has 11 blocked shots in this ball game, and that's one of the reasons why it's very difficult for Hughesville to try to penetrate with that ball. They got to get somebody hot from the three-point arc.
Morgan just inside, tries to dump it down low to Harris. He couldn't catch it. Ball being fought for. Ferguson Myrick has it underneath. It's going to be a held ball. It goes to Prep Charter this time. Held ball to Prep Charter.
Prep Charter with a chance to take the lead or tie the game up with a field goal. 3 would give them the lead.
Down inside, a shot up and good by Tyree Harris. We are tied at 52 with 5:06 to go. The 5th tie in the ball game. Almost a steal, but the Spartans have it back. Hoover, left side, stolen away. There goes Nicholson, goes up, puts it up, and misses it, but the tap back up again. Ferguson Myrick, I believe, is going to get that 14 points. Prep Charter by 2, 4:45 left. They double team on the side, and the ball is going to go out of bounds off the Spartans.
Trapped Hughesville on the far side. Had no one to get the ball to. Hughesville right now is playing with a sense of urgency. They're starting to feel the pressure, and they know they need some points, and they're starting to fall apart. They got to relax and finish this game out. 4:43 to go here in the 4th. They're down by 2 after leading for all of the 3rd period and about half of the 2nd period.
54-52 Prep Charter, and they have the ball. That's Nicholson, you see. Myrick up off the back of the iron, no good, but they're getting a little rebound. They hand it inside. He goes to the hole. Nobody's going to get fouled. And this is where we're seeing this ball club from Prep Charter start to get 2nd and 3rd shots as they're starting to go more aggressively and get better position and use their height.
Yeah, that's a big thing. They got such a height advantage once that ball gets into the paint. Hughesville may be tiring a little bit too. They run hard in this ball game. I can't tell if it's Hughesville's not as quick or Prep Charter has gotten quicker, but Prep Charter certainly has picked their game up here in this 4th quarter.
Ferguson Myrick putting it through. And up and good. He hits them both. I have him with 16 points. Now it's a 4-point lead with 4:25 left. Spartans out front. Jordan Holmes looking. Give the ball back. We said down low. Crownover kicks it back out to Hanford. Davis wants it in the corner. They didn't get it to him. No, Nicholson kicked it. Davis, of course, had 20 points in the first half, 17 in the 2nd quarter, but he's had a hard time getting the ball here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, he sure has. Statsman extraordinaire Richie Mason came up with a stat on Ferguson Myrick. Get this, Ken. He has 14 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocked shots in this ball game.
Outside Hoover. 4 minutes left to go. 56-52 Prep Charter. They're playing an expanded 1-3-1. Crownover, baseline right side. Looking. Kicks it back out. 3 attempt up, no good. Rebound in there by Hanford, up, rejected by your friend Mr. Myrick again as he puts it through and puts the block through. 56-52. 3:35 left to play in the ball game. Prep Charter out in front. On the right side, they dump it down low. Garrett, oh, what did that pass? Morgan goes through some people to wave off the shot, but he's going to be a foul before he gets it in there. Foul before he gets through. 56-52.
17-3 run here by Prep Charter has put them into the lead. 56-52. Only a 3-point shot by Hughesville in that 17-3 run.
Timeout, babe, coming up. Any three whole subs, $12.99 any day, anytime. It's Subway of Greater Williamsport. 3:22 left. Prep Charter leads by 4. Four-point Prep Charter lead with 3:22 left in this one. Coming up after the ball game, the Lodge post-game show. From the folks at the Lodge on the Golden Strip at the Econo Lodge. And what do we got? Maybe some.
Well, Gary Waitman is stopped and went over. They need something to wipe the floor up. There's something on the floor over there.
Yeah, they want to wipe the floor up. So he gets a chance to remind you about the Lodge post-game show coming up after this one. Also coming up after this one, White Plains Tigers at 10-5 on the year, taking on the Williamsport Millionaires at 13-5. And that ball game will be coming up. Williamsport training staff out taking a look at that. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who join us here on Cable Sports to bring you these ball games each week. We've got a whole bunch of good games coming up for teams in the area. And, babe, as I was saying earlier, you know, the season ends pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually about just over 2 weeks.
Yeah, is it an early end this year, Ken? It seems to be. It seems like a week earlier than when it normally ends.
Yep.
I don't know what the calendar did to cause that, but.
And, of course, next year it's going to be a little bit different because they're going to cut down the number of games permissible from 24 to 22 next year, and that's going to change the calendar around a little bit as well.
It'll be interesting to see where they take it off of, the front or the end. With the state football playoffs, they really need to take them off the front.
That's, I think, what the intent is. You can see the training staff from Williamsport out cleaning up along the floor, along the baseline on the right side. 3:22 left. Hughesville led by as many as 10 in this ball game. Prep Charter early by 5. Hughesville trailed by 3 at the end of the first quarter. Hughesville had a spectacular second quarter. Ryzen Davis had 17 of his 20 points in the second quarter, and the Spartans led by 6 at halftime. They still led by 5 at the end of 3 quarters, but here in the beginning of the fourth quarter, Prep Charter has taken over, and they have a 4-point lead with 3:22 to go. And there you see Jesse Morgan, and he hits it. Jesse Morgan, I have him with 15 tonight.
5-point lead for Prep Charter, 57-52.
You have to give it to them, babe. As much as you said we were saying they were playing without passion, they didn't panic either. Been good, but they haven't won it yet either.
They were playing with confidence, weren't playing with passion, and I thought they had to turn it up a little bit sooner than what they did, but that's why I'm up here, and that's why Dan Brinkley's down there on the floor coaching.
Extended 1-3-1 to go over top of it, but a foul's going to be called. Foul on Parrish Grant as he hammered Crownover, his second, 7th team foul. So he was in the act of shooting, but that will put both teams now the 1-1, and that'll put Crownover at the free throw line.
Josh Crownover has got to hit these foul shots because they're losing contact on the scoreboard.
3:10 left. Didn't get it. Spartans have only been at the free throw line a couple of times tonight. They've had very few free throws. He's going to take another one as soon as they reset the people along the lane.
Hughesville is 2 for 6, Ken. They've only had 6 shots, only made 2 of them. That's rare. They're usually a good foul shooting team.
Crownover makes this one. Gives him 8 points. Spartans now put on the full court pressure. They're down by 5 with 3 minutes to play. Along the baseline, Ferguson Myrick's going to be fouled. Ferguson Myrick will go to the free throw line.
I think that's going to go against Reason Davis. If it does, that's his 4th.
Nope, they're going to go. They're going to go against Addison Hanford this time. That's his 2nd, 8th team foul. 3:01 left, and missing the free throw shot. So Ferguson Myrick will take it again. He's 6'6", puts it up, hits that one. 59-53, Prep Charter. Spartans. Outside Hanford, Hoover, Davis. Yes! They got it to Davis, and he hit it. He's got 23 points, and it's a 3-point lead. He's back in the game.
And that's his first points of the second half of this ball game. He had 20 at the half. That's his first 3, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Hughesville down by 3.
And it ignited the Spartan crowd here at the Magic Dome. Base driving and missing. Davis got the rebound, knocked away. Foul's going to be called. Foul's going to be called inside.
Foul's going to be called
against Prep Charter.
Yeah, it'll be a shooting foul. Both teams in the bonus right now. That's the 8th team foul against Prep Charter.
As you can see, that's the second foul against Jesse Morgan. There's your time and score. Hughesville, the home team here in this ball game at this neutral site at the Magic Dome.
Davis had a chance to bring this game down to a one-pointer.
It's the first.
It's a two-pointer now. 2:30 to go in the fourth period. Still time.
Rising to the occasion. Can make it a one-point game. That's his 24th point. 25. 59-58. Timeout, Prep Charter. We have a timeout with 2:28 left. The Huskies lead the Spartans by 1. Any three-hole subs, $12.99. Any day, any time at Subway in the greater Williamsport area. Welcome back to the Magic Dome. Oh, what a great game this has been. This is why people come out to see high school basketball. What a thriller. And hopefully the second game will be just as thrilling. White Plains and the Williamsport Millionaires. Spartans trying to be a little more aggressive defensively. Coming in down the lane. Grant puts it up. A charge going to be called.
But not a good shot selection by Grant at all.
That's his third foul.
Yeah, but more importantly, I mean, you're in a one-point ball game. You got to set up and take a better shot than that. He just drove the ball into a pile of people. Good call by the official.
2:15 to go. Clock counting down. Spartans trail by a point.
Really surprised that we didn't see man-on-man defense out of Prep Charter, Ken, on that foul. They're still back in the zone.
Spartans looking for the best shot. They move it around. Hoover, Davis, Gurney primarily handling the ball out front. They try for a steal, didn't get it. Davis to Gurney, penetrates from the wing, kicks it back to Hoover. Spartans running some clock here. They get it down low to Crownover. He's tripled, gets it to Hanford, kicks it back out. Hoover fakes the three, does for the two, hits it. Brian Hoover gives the Spartans a one-point lead with 1 minute 30 seconds to play in this game.
I'll tell you what, good ball movement. Good ball movement out of the Hughesville Spartans. Let's see if they got some D in them.
60-59. Right corner, Nicholson. Kicks it out. Grant for the tray. Hits it.
Big bucket.
Parrish Grant. Makes it a 62-60 lead with 1:10 to go. Foul, reach-in foul. Going to come up for Jesse Morgan, his third of the ball game. That's the 10th team foul, so he'll shoot 2. Davis, the man you want at the free throw line, a superb free throw shooter, hitting about 80% on the year.
Hit both of his three free throws earlier here. He's 2 for 2 from the foul line. 25 points on the night. Make it 26.
Going for the tie with 1:09 on the scoreboard. And we are tied. 27 points.
Reason Davis coming strong here late in the fourth quarter after a really subdued second half. Timeout, Prep Charter.
1:04 to go in the game. We're tied at 62. The Subway timeout. Any three-hole subs, $12.99 any day, any time at Subway.
The new BMW 5.
Many teams have played for one shot here, Babe Mayer.
Yeah, I don't. Prep Charter looks like they may. They're just going to sit out there.
55 seconds and counting. The game tied at 62. You go if you hold it to the last shot and you don't let the other team go, the worst you can do is overtime.
Right.
But if you start it too soon, and we saw this happen here Thursday night at the Magic Dome when the Millionaires had a tie ball game with 1:20 left, and they took the last shot where they started to play with 19 seconds left, and they missed it, and that left Holy Redeemer with the time to come back. Davis come out trying to draw a 5 call, and another timeout's going to be called. This will probably be, let's see, is it going to be a 30 or a full? It will be, he's indicating a full timeout. Any three-hole subs, $12.99 at Subway anytime. 62 all with 28 seconds left. We're back for the final 28 seconds of a tie ball game. Number 1 ranked Prep Charter. Top 10 Hughesville, 62 all. Prep Charter ball. Davis trying to make a mistake. Nicholson dribbles in, dribbles out, 15 seconds. Gives it to Morgan. Morgan Tries to move in on Gurney. Right side, Grant for three. Cannot get it. Hughesville has it 7 seconds. There's a collision in the backcourt. Ball picked up by Harris. Up, no good. Hughesville with 1 second. We're going overtime. Davis is hurt. Davis is hurt. Ryzen Davis got banged up a little bit. He's down on his knees. He's trying to get up right at midcourt. And he's headed over toward the Spartan bench. So we'll take a 60-second timeout. 62 all at the end of regulation. Here's a Subway timeout.
There any
6 ties in this ball game, and we're tied headed to overtime between the Hughesville Spartans and the Huskies of Prep Charter. Davis is on the bench, is holding his right shoulder. And that's huge. He's got 27 points.
The trainer's with him and talking to him and working on that shoulder.
Rest of his teammates will just have to step up. Inside, Harris puts it up and good. Tyree Harris with 7 points at 64-62. Up the long pass up court, stolen away by Harris.
All right, you got to set up better than that. Hughesville tried a long court pass, threw it into traffic and lost the ball. They're down by 2, 3:28 to go. We're in overtime. Score was tied up at 62 at end of regulation.
Morgan down the lane, looks left side. Shaquille Duncan underneath, reverses it up and in. Duncan with 7 points, a 4-point Prep Charter lead, just over 3 left in the first overtime.
Reason Davis over in the far side. Doesn't look like he's coming back in the ball game.
Hoover, the other guys can shoot to 3. They'll just have to take it and see what they want to do. Nick Tagliaferri telling him they're trying to get it inside, back outside to Hoover. Down low again, crowd over, and he'll be fouled by Duncan. Shaquille Duncan reaches around and grabs him. His second personal foul, the 9th team foul against Prep Charter. Actually, the 11th team foul against Prep Charter.
Shaquille Duncan at 6'8".
Davis is at the table to come back in. He's going to try it. Of course, it's a 2-shot foul, so he has to wait till the first shot's over. Josh Crownover there to shoot. Try to keep Hughesville, he hits it. Crownover with 9 points on the ball game. 66-63.
We could make this a 2-point ball game if he makes this second shot.
2:52 left in the first overtime here at the Magic Dome.
Reason Davis comes back in.
Up and good. Josh Crownover now with 10 points. It's a 2-point Prep Charter lead with 2:49 and counting left. There you see the scoreboard. Morgan across the midcourt line. Looks, Hughesville letting him stay out there for a while. There's no need to really panic at this point. Just play good, solid defense. Oh, down the lane, Harris throws it up, no good. Gets his own rebound, back up and good. Hughesville fans wanted to foul because he came in there awful hard. And Addison Hanford just getting up after that flurry. It's a 4-point Prep Charter lead.
Once that ball gets in the hole there, in that paint, it's very difficult to defend.
Davis from the right corner. Yes, he's back.
He has enough of the shoulder left, Ken.
30 points.
1-point ball game. Prep Charter has the lead. They have the ball. 2 minutes to go here in the first overtime.
30 points. Down the lane, knocked away. Nice defense. Hanford picked up nicely. And now stolen back. Nicholson, he attacks the basket, puts it up and in. Nicholson with 6 points. Hanford did a great job stopping that first shot, but the Spartans couldn't get the ball up far enough. 3 points, they're trailing with 1:40 to go.
Hanford hasn't scored in this ball game, but he's had a couple of nice plays. That was one of them right there. Unfortunately, they didn't capitalize.
Gurney looks to go inside. They kick it back out to Hoover. 70-67, 1:25 left. Prep Charter leading in the first overtime. Davis inside to Crownover, up, blocked away. Ferguson Myrick, another block for him in this ball game. He's been spectacular.
Wow.
1:10 to go. Now the Spartans have got to get a little more aggressive and take a few chances defensively with 1 minute to go in this ball game. 1 minute now. They're down by 3. Prep Charter. Morgan. They're just going to exchange the ball for a while. No need for them to panic either.
That was almost a 5-point call. I thought he should have gotten it.
They go to the right corner, and there's going to be a timeout called. by Prep Charter. With 44 seconds left, the Huskies lead the Spartans by 3. Any 3 whole subs, $12.99 anytime, any day at Subway.
Sawyer, Ferguson Myrick, number 10, 15 points, 9 block shots, 10 rebounds in this ball game. He's 1 block shot away from a triple-double.
Outside, Parrish Grant dribbling the ball. He and Morgan, and now Harris. 34 seconds. Hughesville trails by 3. They've got to decide when they want to try to foul. 25 seconds, and who? They come out and foul. Hoover commits the personal foul with 24.0 seconds left in the first overtime. Prep Charter leading Hughesville 70-67. We have had 6 ties in the ball game. Hughesville's biggest lead 10, Prep Charter's biggest lead 6, and Prep Charter trying to close it out at the free throw line. 24 seconds is a long time. Up and good.
Nick Tagliaferri very upset on the sideline. I think they fouled the wrong person. I think he wanted him to foul somebody else.
4-point lead by the Huskies. Good look at the Parrish. Had 16 in the game against Williamsport here. Puts it up. That gives him 10 points in this ball game. Spartans down by 5. Davis, right corner. They'll double him. Left side. They go down, crown over, baseline jumper, up and good. Timeout's going to be called. Timeout's going to be called. It's a full timeout. It's 72-69 is the score, with Prep Charter leading with 14 seconds left. This is a Subway timeout. Any 3 whole subs, anytime, anywhere. Just $12.99 at Subway.
The place to go before.
All right, we're back here at the Magic Dome. 3-point lead by Prep Charter with 14.6 seconds left in the first overtime. You can see the Spartans pressing full court. Grant runs it. They give it to Morgan. They'll foul Morgan immediately. 13.2 left in the game. Jesse Morgan having with 16 points in this ball game, and he will come up court. The 6'4 junior. We'll see if he can't widen that lead once again.
Now Prep Charter puts nobody on the foul line, everybody back on defense. So if he misses, he'll get 2 shots. If he misses that second shot, the rebound will definitely come down to the Spartans. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. He's there shooting. If the ball kicks back out like it did right there, he can get the rebound.
Morgan misses. They make a change in the lineup. They put Shaquille Duncan back in, the 6'8 sophomore. You see him standing right behind Morgan there. He makes the 1 out of the 2. 17 points from Morgan. It's a 4-point lead with 11 seconds. They go right side. They kick it back out. There's Davis for 3. Can't read it. Ferguson Myrick gets the rebound, and that's going to be it. 73-69 is the final in overtime. A magnificent ball game. Hughesville goes to 17-2 and gets a standing ovation from their fans as they played one great ball game. Stay tuned for the Lodge post-game show. Our final score with a Subway timeout coming up in overtime. Prep Charter 73, Hughesville 69.
Once again, we are back. Lodge post-game show. Gary Grisman and Babe Mayer. I'll tell you, thanks to Ken Sawyer, as you can hear, I'm struggling tonight. 73-69 OT. What a performance by Hughesville. Just not enough at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Hughesville gave it everything they had. They got it into overtime. And in overtime, you know, the Prep Charter team just outmanned them. I mean, they had better height. They had the quickness to match up with them. Hughesville played with heart, stayed in the ball game, forced it into overtime. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with the win. Been a great game for the Hughesville Spartans. They will grow in this game. Nick Tagliaferri, I thought, did a great job of coaching this team.
Absolutely. What a game by Reason Davis. 20 in the first half. His team had 9 threes in the first half. He had 5 of them hit that final 3 at the buzzer at the halftime. And his team is on top, and he ends up with 30. What a game by Reason Davis. Gurney had 14, Crown over 12, Hoover had 13, the only 4 starters that scored for the Spartans. Spectacular night for them, and I'd say a couple of bounces the ball, they could have won this game.
You're absolutely right. I think this surprised a lot of people at how good. I thought this was a barometer. People wanted to see this game to see how Hughesville could do, getting out of the valley, playing against a big-time team, the #1 team in the state, took them into overtime. This Hughesville team's for real, Gary.
Yeah, this other ball club, Jesse Morgan led them with 17 points, 15 from Ferguson Myrick, and Prep Charter's still #1. But I'll tell you, what a lot of respect for the Hughesville Spartans. We'll take a break. We'll be back one more time. We've got one more coming up next. Don't go away. 73-69 in OT. Prep Charter.
The place to go before and after the game, the Lodge.
One more time, Lodge postgame show back there. Let's close it out. 73-69. Prep Charter has won their first game. We're going to give Richard Dick Mason a chance to join you in the booth. I'm going home to bed. What a great first game. Hughesville just comes up short.
Special thanks to our buddy Ken Sawyer for stepping in for you, Gary, in the first ball game. Did a great job. Hughesville, tremendous job. Took the #1 team in the state into overtime. What can you say? Nick Tagliaferri and his team, congratulations. They're the real deal, Gary. We're going to have fun with them in the postseason.
Stick around. White Plains, New York, Williamsport Millionaires are up next. The Fairfield Autogroup Game of the Week coming up next.